This video, I'm talking to you about my experience doing the 30-day fruit feast hosted by Orville Douglas, the Black Fruitarian. We're also going to do another Black history fact. And just so you know, I just put your fur baby friend outside of the room. Hopefully he behaves himself. You know how he likes to do me. Okay, so for some general information on the Fruitarian, I've been following him since 2016 when he was first introduced to me. His name is Orville Douglas. I will be linking a bunch of information down below in the pinned comment. He has a book that he sells to help you along this journey and to answer pretty much all of your questions. Now, I'm not going to be able to answer the questions that you are probably going to have about this way of eating. I'm not an expert. I've just done this challenge several times. I used to do it annually. I did it in 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, and then again this year, January of 2024. So those are the times I've did it. I've only done it for those 30 days, but I've had a good experience each and every time. I am considering now making this a lifestyle choice just because the benefits that I experienced in January of 2024 far outweigh the foods that I want to eat and how I feel after eating them, because I was very, very careful this time to take meticulous mental notes and actually some physical notes of some of the things that happened to me before, during, and after this 30-day challenge. So I'm going to be looking off camera a lot because I have a lot of notes and information on my screen that I just can't memorize. Okay, bear with me on this video for not maintaining enough eye contact, but just know that the information is good. I'm going to try and keep this video short, but it's a lot of information. Again, a lot of things will be linked in the pinned comment for you to find out all his information, how to reach out to him, how to buy his book, all that jazz, okay? So I'm going to read about Orville Douglas. Orville Douglas, a certified nutrition and diet specialist endorsed by the International Therapy Examination Council, has been a vegan since 1997. In 2012, he adopted a fruitarian diet, exclusively consuming fruits. He offers personalized consultations to highlight the advantages of fruit-based eating and organizes the Orville Douglas 31-Day Fruit Feast Challenge on Facebook. Since July of 2016, this bi-monthly challenge has consistently witnessed a multitude of irreversible chronic illnesses, reversals, time and time again. As a nutrition advisor at Body Sculpt of New York, Inc., Orville's aim is to educate the public about the importance of nutrition for a healthier lifestyle. He has provided fitness and nutrition guidance for Medgar Evers College's Empowering Youth to Excel and Succeed, EYESI's program, conducted nutrition seminars for the State Office of Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, OASIS, Access to Recovery, ATR program, and delivered nutrition workshops in collaboration with the Queens Public Library, John Jay Criminal College, United Federation of Teachers, DC 37, and 1199 unions. In addition to leading bi-monthly fruit feast challenges, Orville offers personalized and group nutrition and fitness services. I will link his website. Like I said, you can buy this ebook. He has an ebook. I want to say it was either $20 or $25, something like that. Definitely less than 30 bucks. So I will be linking that information below. I will also be linking the Facebook group below. Well, Facebook page, not group. So there is a page, but he posts pretty consistently on it. He's pretty good about answering comments on posts, and he's pretty good about answering personal messages on the inbox. Now, before I get into my take on fruitarian lifestyle and how this time around, I want to share a couple of the testimonials from the ebook. I'm just going to put them on the screen, and I'm also going to read them. All right, this one here. End-stage kidney disease reversal. These are testimonials that have been sent to him that he is sharing in his ebook with the person's permission. I just wanted to update y'all on my kidney issues, which are no longer an issue if I continue to do what is necessary for my health. Before I started in mid-July, that's obviously starting the Fruit Feast Challenge, I was in end-stage kidney disease. Normal kidney creatine is a 1. Normal eGFR is a 60. Beginning of July, my creatine was 6, abnormal, and my eGFR was a 13, very abnormal. Since I've been following Orville Douglas today, I just got the results of my test. My creatine, I'm not sure if that's creatine or creatine, whatever that word is now 1.55. Now remember, normal is a 1. Okay? And theirs was a 6. They brought it down to a 1.55. My eGFR is now 51. Normal is a 60, and theirs was a 13. So they brought it to where it needs to be. I am truly blessed. Now, mind you, it's been a struggle being out of work and not being able to get fruit as much as I'd like to. But since I have changed my diet with daily exercise at home, my doctor is shocked at the number reversal in such a short period of time. So I will say to you, when you buy the book, you also have an opportunity to join an exclusive private Facebook group for a fee. I'm gonna preface that there is a fee. I know he does run specials where if you buy the book, you get into the group for free. So that's a possibility to catch one of those specials. Check his website. Do not ask me about it. I don't know when the specials are. He does this fruit feast every other month. He did one in January. That means there won't be one in February, but there will be one in March. So go check it out. Decide if this is something you want to challenge yourself, or even you and your family, or even you and a friend or a friend group want to do in March. You got plenty of time to get it done. So check out his page, check out his website, decide if this is something you want to start on March 1st. That'll give you time, save up some money. Do your due diligence, your research, as my friend Jules says, okay? Do your due diligence. Do not look at me as an expert. I'm just sharing my experiences. I'm going to share one more testimonial before I get into my experience. Pregnant at 45 after hormonal problems. Hi, Orville. I don't even know where to start, but I must say you have changed my life in the best possible way. I have been suffering from weight issues, hormonal problems, high blood pressure, and pre-diabetic for a good number of years now. I have tried many different diets and things. I started your 30-day challenge last year and could only get to about 12 days because of my job and indiscipline. Earlier this year, when I saw the 61 days, I decided to go all the way. Let me tell you, I started a week or so ago so I could just set myself right this time. Around 13 days in, I stopped taking my blood pressure meds because I realized that I was skipping them and feeling much better. I went to the doctor on day 16 for my regular checkup, and my pressure had dropped from 161 over 124 to 130 over 105. Everything from the lab came back perfect as well. Around mid-April, I started feeling so weak and tired all the time. I went to the doctor panicking, but still sticking to my fruits. I did a whole new batch of blood work, and everything is still great. Would you believe it if they sent me to do an ultrasound plus more tests? Doctors called me urgently in the second week of May and said I was 8 weeks pregnant. Who can tell me this lifestyle doesn't do wonders for the body? I am 45 and expecting my first child. No blood pressure, no diabetes. Please keep spreading the love. So I will tell you this. I did the fruit feast in January 2024. I started a week early at the end of December. And there's a reason I did that. Having done this challenge before, I knew that there would be a few days of detoxing and getting your body used to it. And so I figured I would just get a jump on it And I think there was a payday at the end of December, so I just figured let me stock up on fruits getting ready for the 1st. But then I just started eating them because they were there in the fridge. So I will tell you this, looking at my notes, the first 4 to 6 days probably is when officially in January. So having started it the week before, I had already been on fruits for the whole week, the last week of December, probably 5 days of December. So technically on January 1st, when I started this, from January 4th or 6th. So taking those 5 days plus the next 4 to 6 days. So almost 2 weeks, but not quite. I want to say it was 5 to 10 days. So maybe the first 10 days. After that first 10 days, probably around the 7th day mark, 8th day mark is when I started feeling better. And when I say feeling better, I can't even give you a specific thing. You know what I'm saying? I just know that I woke up and I felt better. I can't give you specific details. Some other things that I noticed was I definitely had less allergy issues. I also stopped taking my allergy pill back at the end of December when I started on the fruits. So I want to say December, let's see, there's 31 days in December. I want to say I started this maybe 25th, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I think it was like 26. So I stopped taking the allergy pill that day too, because I wanted to stop everything. I wanted to stop my supplements. I wanted to stop my over-the-counter allergy pill. I wanted to give the fruits a complete test to see if they were going to take care of everything that I was dealing with, or if I was going to have to get back on supplements for something, or back on my allergy pill for the postnasal drip and the in the back of the throat when I wake up in the mornings. I wanted to give it a true test. So definitely at that day 8-ish mark, okay, I'm not waking up as congested with the postnasal drip in the back of my throat. My throat is not sore when I wake up, because I would always wake up with a sore throat if for a couple of days I didn't take my allergy pill. I normally would take my allergy pill at night before bed so that I wouldn't wake up with that postnasal drip in the back of my throat, or a sore-ish throat, or not even sore, just kind of a, a little bit of a froggy, scratchy throat. I noticed by day 8 that was now no longer happening. I also noticed probably around the day 10 to 12 mark that my joints were aching way less. You guys know, if you've been here long enough, you've heard me say I have a joint condition. So I have achy joints all over. Today I'm experiencing some bad aches, but we're going to get into that after I talk about the pros. My left hip especially was the biggest one, because I noticed that I was falling asleep on my left side and also waking up occasionally on my left side, which I normally don't lay on my left side because my left hip was one of the most painful achy joints in my body. And sleeping as a side sleeper, I always just tended to move to the right side and sleep to my right because it was less achy. So waking up, falling asleep and waking up on my left side occasionally was like, oh wow, I'm on my left side. Like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. And it's not hurting me. My skin felt less dry. As you guys know, I've told you I'm somewhere on the spectrum of menopause, and my skin has been extremely dry. So my skin was feeling less dry. I also had an increase in energy, waking up refreshed, okay? Less groggy, just waking up ready to start the day. Waking up before the alarm, which I normally do, but it's still kind of a groggy, achy, takes me time to get out of bed type thing. I wasn't having any more sugar cravings or sweet cravings, because I do have a lot of sweet cravings, candy, sugar, chocolate. Those are my weaknesses. Eating the fruits was definitely taking care of that. And I felt extremely hydrated. So when you are on this Fruit Feast challenge, you are only drinking distilled water. Distilled water can be found at every grocery store, Walmart, everywhere. He recommends distilled water, and it makes sense. And husband has always drank or preferred distilled water because he says it just tastes fresh to him and plain to him, and no aftertastes or anything like that. If you think about it, one of the reasons he gave in a video that he did in the private group was, if you think about it, because people were like, well, don't we need the stuff that's in spring water or tap water, like the nutrients and the minerals and all that? And he was explaining how if you're getting your proper mineral intake through your diet, through your food, then why do you need that extra? And if you think about it, wherever you live, think about buildup in your toilet when you go to clean the toilet. Think about the buildup in your tub, in your sinks. And that's from the minerals and stuff in the water that's coming out of the tap. Now, if that's causing buildup on surfaces, imagine what the buildup it's causing inside our system, our bodies. Also, when you use a humidifier, if you read the packaging, it will normally say use distilled water, okay, or boil water or something, right? If you use a water pick like I do, the instructions recommend using distilled water. If you use a CPAP machine, the instructions recommend using distilled water. Why do you think that is? I will tell you why, because you probably already know. If you're using regular tap water in any of those things that take water, even your iron, when you use your iron, you will notice that gunk builds up in those devices, those machines that vaporize water or have water run through them, okay? You will notice little calcium white deposits. You might notice even some like little rusty, that's probably minerals and stuff. That also happens within your body. Just saying. So if you're eating properly and drinking the distilled water, you don't need the extra stuff in tap or spring water like you do. Now, if our planet and sky and atmosphere were cleaner, rainwater would be the best water to drink, but we can't drink rainwater because all the gunk that it passes through before it gets to us would probably not be good for us. Now, there are people that collect rainwater, but they do something to it. They don't drink it straight like that. They do something to it before they take it in their body and their systems. So anyway, that's why distilled water. That's just a little caveat for you. Again, check out his information for all the details. Get the ebook because the ebook is excellent. Multiple chapters on all these questions you probably have. Now, with the fruits, it's not every fruit. It is high water content fruit, juicy fruits. Think berries, think melons, grapes, okay? Kiwi, citrus fruits. Think the fruits that when you bite into them, the juice squirts, okay? Just like that. So any fruit that you normally would bite into and it's juicy, and absolutely no juicing, okay? The reason for one smoothie a day and no juicing is that when we chew our food and chew our fruits, something happens within your mouth with enzymes and the spit and the saliva and all that and the action of your mouth moving that helps with digestion and nutrition. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't know the details. He goes into them. Go get those details straight from the expert. Okay, I'm saying expert because I don't know how you can be a fruitarian expert. Like, I don't know what, there's no certification for that. But he's been one long enough to be an expert, I guess. And he has a nutrition certification. So that's why I'm kind of using that term loosely. So now, the negatives. And it's really weird because it wasn't until the last 3 to 4 days of January did I all of a sudden start having weird, savory, and salty cravings. I don't know where it came from. It could have been hormonal. I could have been having some kind of hormonal thing because when I used to have a regular menstruation cycle, I always had my cycle start, my flow start on the 27th of the month. So that's probably kind of what is going on. You tend to still have hormonal things even though you're menopausal. So around about that 27th to 28th day of January, I started having these cravings for salty and savory. Like, I just couldn't wait for the feast to be over so that I could saute some vegetables. Like, I just wanted sauteed vegetables so badly. So on day 31, I ended my feast. I didn't wait until the 1st of February. I decided there are a few things I'm going to eliminate, but I am going to go back to some cooked foods. However, eating a lot of fruit during the day and then having my cooked meal once a day, like a small portion of it with fruit, when I got home from work. I usually get home from work between 6 and 6:15. So I figured, okay, that'll be my dinner, if you will. I will go one thing back. When you're on the fruits, you can eat whenever you're hungry and stop when you are satiated, satisfied, full. There's no meals. If you wake up and you're not hungry, then don't eat. If you wake up and you're famished, eat. Okay? If you're eating 5 times a day, 10 times a day, 3 times a day, 1 time a day, doesn't matter. Just eat when you're hungry and stop when your body says, okay, I'm good to go. And I will tell you this, husband, after I did my challenge, the beginning of February, husband decided he was going to try and do some fruits. And he said that he noticed that when he ate the fruit bowl that I made him to go in the morning, he didn't even finish it because he was full before he finished it. And that's what I found. Definitely get full before you finish it, if you make a decent sized bowl of fruit or eat enough fruits. I got to the point where there were several days in the month of doing the challenge that I literally only ate once a day. I was that full, hydrated, and didn't have any kind of craving or hunger at all. So you're definitely getting fiber, so you're feeling full. You're definitely getting nutrients because your energy is improving and you can see physical improvements to yourself, your way you feel. So I just knew that I was fine. There was nothing wrong. I wasn't having any adverse reactions or anything. So anyway, back to now, the end of January, beginning of February, going back to cooked foods, which is mostly vegetables. What I did notice almost immediately, the first cooked meal that I had in the evening was the next morning, I immediately had postnasal drip. Wasn't a lot, but having not had some for 30 days, I immediately recognized when I woke up in the morning that this is not how I've been waking up feeling, and I don't like this. So I said, okay, maybe I ate too much. Maybe I ate a bigger portion than I should have. So I didn't eat anything cooked the next day because I had made this batch of food. So I was going to eat it up, finish it up. I didn't eat anything but fruit the next day. And then the following day, I ate earlier before work. I said, well, let me eat before work. Maybe it's eating it at night before bed because we normally come home, eat a little something, and pretty much just veg out watching TV. So I'm not moving around. I said, maybe it's because it was a heavier meal after eating fruits for so long. And now my body's like, what are you doing? So I said, okay, well, I'll eat it earlier. So this time I ate the cooked meal before work because I am on my feet the whole time I'm at work. So I ate the cooked meal before work. I said, okay, I'll just eat it for lunch now, if you will, lunch. I'll eat it before work and see how I feel when I get home from work and the next morning. So I ate a smaller portion of this vegetable saute that I had made. Cooking video is coming, so stay tuned for that. If you're liking this information and you're finding it helpful, if you're finding it fun, enjoyable, or just informative, go ahead and do me a favor and hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe and turn on that little notification bell so that you get informed every time a new video drops. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. For those that want to support even further, check out some merch. So eating this food before work, I'm going to be active. It's going to be fine. It's going to be out of my system by the time I get home and definitely by the next morning. So I do that. I'm fine. I eat a nice bowl of fruit when I get home and then go to bed as usual. Wake up the next day. I'm noticing fingers are swollen. Okay. I'm noticing ears kind of have this cloggy feel, again with the postnasal drip, but it's a little bit more. At the recording of this video, it's been 10 days into February. I've eaten cooked food 3 times and I have not felt well at all. I don't know if you've heard it on and off throughout the video because I keep editing out the throat clearing, but I'm still having postnasal drip in the back of my throat. My ears are still feeling a little bit clogged. My fingers are still a little bit swollen. So I have decided I'm going to cut out the potato and the rice. It could be the starches. Now, for this next few days, maybe through a week, I'm going to just do straight sauteed vegetables. That's it. Or salads, raw vegetables. So we're going to see how I do on that. If I don't see better results between the fruits and just the vegetables, no starches, then I'm going back to fruitarian. I'm just going to be a fruitarian. And on occasion, if we go out somewhere, I will eat a salad or I will eat a salad and a little piece of fish or something like that here and there. We don't go out to eat very often, so that shouldn't be a problem. So I will do an update to this in the coming months. I want to give it a real good shot, a real good try of just being fruits and vegetables only. So I'm not doing any kind of starches. I'm just doing vegetables, whether that's raw vegetables or cooked vegetables, but just vegetables for now. And on occasion, some kind of Beyond Meat, which is a vegan meat, or a piece of fish. I do like fish, so a little piece of salmon when I can catch it on sale, or any other fish that I can catch on sale, except tilapia. I do not like tilapia. I don't know who you people are that like tilapia. I just can't do it. This video's much longer than I intended it to be, but I just want to do a Black History fact. Listen, don't click off the video. Please stick with me. If you've gone this far, let me just quickly read through my Black History fact for you, because it is actually a pretty interesting fact. At least I found it was. So again, I have notes on the screen. Please bear with me for not keeping eye contact with the video, but I think you're really going to enjoy this information. I found it interesting because of the area that I live in and because I just did not know this information, okay? So today's Black History fact, we're going to be talking about William Tucker, okay? William Tucker was the first person of African ancestry to be born in the 13 British colonies. Yes, the first African American. His birth symbolized the beginnings of African American identity along the eastern coast that would eventually become the United States. We were still colonies at the time, okay? And here comes William Tucker being born, the first African American, okay? He was born in 1624 near Jamestown, Virginia. As you guys know, I'm in Virginia Beach, so this is kind of cool, right? He was the son of Antony and Isabel. Obviously, those were not their African names. You know, when we got here to this land, the first thing that was taken away from us was identity, okay, and family. Families were ripped apart usually, and names were changed because nobody was trying to pronounce African names, okay? Just take a look at Roots. What's one of the first things they did to Kunta Kinte? Told him his name was Toby, right? I'm just saying, if you haven't watched Roots, I recommend each person watch it at least once in their lifetime, okay? It's not something you want to watch over and over again, though. So they were two African indentured servants. Listen to me. You heard that right. They were indentured servants from Africa, not slaves. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. According to the 1624 to 1625 Virginia census, 22 Africans lived in the Virginia at the time of Tucker's birth. 20 of these, or the first 20 of these Africans arrived in 1619, and all of them worked under indentured servitude contracts. These men and women were not slaves, okay? Virginia's General Assembly had not yet worked out the terms for enslavement in the colonies. So they were not slaves. They were indentured servants. They came over as indentured servants, okay? So that means that they received the same rights, duties, privileges, responsibilities, and punishments as white indentured counterparts from Great Britain. So there were white indentured servants that came from Great Britain and African ones that came from Africa. They had the same contract, okay? They had the same contract, all right? They also worked under the same terms as the white counterparts. Many, but not all, were given land at the end of their period of indenture. You heard me right. Some of them even walked away from their end of their term of indenturement. Is that a word? Indenturement? Anyway, at the end of their contract, some of them had land. Imagine that. Imagine coming in full knowledge that you would be working for a period of time and that you would end up with land. Huh. Okay, in fact, they and their descendants became the nucleus or the hub or the beginning of the free black population, which would exist in Virginia prior to the Civil War. So yes, there were freed blacks. Some of them here in Virginia came from these 20 first Africans that were under indentured servitude. Contracts ended, they were free, some got land, some did not, some used the skills they learned to get jobs, to buy their own land, to do whatever they needed to do, but they were free blacks. They were not slaves. Okay, here we go. More. Stick with me. Don't fast forward and don't click. Historians do not know much of William Turner's life due to fragmented pieces of sources of material available. You know how they did. They weren't keeping good records, especially not records on people of color, so a lot of us don't know our family's history. William Tucker's parents were among this group of 22 first Africans. They worked for a man known as Captain William Tucker, the Virginia envoy to the Pamunkey Indians, and his wife, Mrs. Mary Tucker. Okay, so him and his wife, they had their indentured servants. Anthony and Isabella, that's William Tucker's parents, who were the original Africans or part of the original group of Africans, okay? They participated in the establishment of Elizabeth City, County, Virginia, which is now known as Hampton, Virginia, which this happened in 1634. So if you go back, you will see I said that William was born in 1624. So that means 10 years later, his parents helped establish Elizabeth City, County, Virginia, which is now Hampton, in 1624. That means that they were done with their servitude. Okay? They were done. Just saying, 10 years, and they were able to have their land. Okay? In the early 1620s, Captain Tucker allowed the couple to wed, though this practice of marriage of indentured service was violated English customs, okay? So normally indentured service could not get married under English indentured servants customs, okay? He allowed them to get wed though. He's like, they like each other, whatever, let them get married. Anthony and Isabella married at least 1 year before giving birth to William in 1624. So at least 1623, that's around the time they got married. William Tucker seems to have had a childhood similar to that of the children born to the white indentured servants in the colony. According to the 1624-1625 census, there were 2 other servant children born, but they were both white around the same time as William Tucker's birth. Okay? Many facts regarding Tucker's life is a mystery. As I said, good records weren't kept. The historical record did not reveal his personal experiences in Virginia, and it doesn't tell whether or not he got married as he got older or had children. And it does not give the date of his death, so we don't know when he died. We don't know how long he lived. But what we do know is that William was baptized in the Anglican Church and that he was named after his family's master, or, you know, the person that they were indentured servants to. And I don't know why they put master in the stuff that I found, because they weren't slaves. They were servants, but I guess you still call them a master even though you were a servant. I don't know. But he was named after Captain William Tucker. That's the person who his parents were working for. Okay, they also says that young William Tucker was counted as one of Captain Tucker's 17 servants. So Captain Tucker and his wife Mary had a total of 17 servants. Now, I'm going to assume that they had several of the first 22 original African servants, and they probably had some white indentured servants too, as well. They probably didn't start out with 17, but with kids, you know, being born to his servants, as William was counted, I'm sure some of the other kids were counted, whether they be from Africans or the white indentured servants. I just found this information fascinating, okay? So I just wanted to share it with you. So as we continue Black History Month, I have another Black History fact I will be sharing with you next week. Don't forget, be good to yourself, be kind to others, and whatever your journey, enjoy it.